And the water rose, the Great Flood of 1937. It's been nearly 80 years since the Ohio River engulfed Jeffersonville and the surrounding areas in the Great Flood of 1937. Over the period of 13 days, water covered nearly 90% of Jeffersonville in January and February of 1937. The JTPL online archive hosts 2 exhibits focusing on the 1937 flood. The materials provided in these exhibits are of slides that were produced for a 1977 slideshow and a 1982 slideshow. Welcome to the JTPL Online Archive. When selecting a theme and layout for this digital heritage information system, I wanted to go with something that was user-friendly and easily navigated. Also, when selecting the colors, I was trying to go with our color scheme for the library, so I went with blue. And I went over with several things of how to actually set up this digital heritage information system. I first began with having it just solely be the 1937 flood, but over time I realized that I wanted maybe to add on to this, see if the library would add on, so I decided to make it the JTPL Online archive, and then for each collection, I would do the 37 flood, and if we do any other slides and materials that we have. And then I created 2 exhibits for the 37 flood. One exhibit has all the slides that I did, including a map. I wanted to actually have a map of the locations I had slides for, and that way you could like compare then and now. I couldn't find any kind of add-on, a plugin for that, so I actually created my own map in Google. So if you click on the map of the flood, you'll see different locations, and each location, if you click on it, will actually tell you what is there. That way you could compare and contrast to the slides that I have. In the future, I might actually add on the pictures, the slides, into this map. There's a way to do the URL, and I couldn't figure that out yet. And then the actual exhibit would be the And the Water Rose, the Great Flood of 1937. I really like the gallery feature on the page. You actually get to see each thumbnail. I chose the slides that featured either a home or a building. Also, some of them actually have street photos that you're looking down the street, and you can see how high the water is with these. And then my other exhibit is the Then and Now 1937 flood versus 2012. And this one, you'll see the photo from 1937, and right beside it, the photo from 2015. And I took all the 2015 photos, and you can compare exactly how high this water got. One of the most unique ones is the Citizen Trust Building. If you can see, it's to the top of the windows, and then you see the to now photo. It was really high, and then like I said, I had two collections. I did the 1937 flood slides, and then the 2015 photographs. I also wanted to include a link back to the library's homepage and a link to the Indiana Memories page. Most of these 37 flood photos actually are being uploaded to the Indiana memory site by a volunteer in our Indiana room. She's been scanning these slides for a year now, and she let me look at how she did them and what kind of metadata she was putting in for the Indiana memory. She helped me select the photos as well as pinpoint where the exact location was. Most of these are from a slideshow presentation that they did in the 70s called 1937 Mud, Sweat, and Tears, which included audio of people remembering the flood. Currently, I can't get that audio yet uploaded, which I hope to do in the future. It's just that it's on cassette tapes, so it's a little hard to get those going. A lot of times, what I was having trouble with is actually pinpointing a lot of the metadata for this, because the slideshow, some of them had names on them. Most of them were photographed by a Stephen Day, who went around and helped rescue people from their homes and businesses. And then some of them actually are from a collection that we have on historic homes. And so those were done by someone else. And then there was the WPA that took photographs as well. One of the most interesting photos that I saw was of Riverside Drive, which is down on the Ohio River in Jeffersonville. And it shows the Big Four Bridge right behind it, which was a railroad bridge at the time. And then right now we actually turned that into a walking bridge, so you can walk from Indiana to Kentucky. I thought that might be interesting to, I thought this photo was interesting to maybe showcase that at the bridge. That was interesting that some of the buildings actually had been moved since the 37 flood, like the Pennsylvania Railroad Station. It used to be on Mitchell Street, closer to the center of town, and they actually moved that to Market Street, which is very near the river, the Big Four Bridge. And they actually made it into a preservation station, so they remodeled it. It's used for gatherings and meetings and stuff like that. And they made a little park there as well, and added a train station. Another one that I saw that was interesting was the aftermath of the flood in the library, in the Carnegie Library, which is on Court Avenue, but it's not the current location of the Jeffersonville Township Public Library. In this photo here, you can see all these books and materials that they pulled out of the library because it was so flooded. The Howard family was into the steamboat business. You can see here in the 1937 version that the water was pretty high. And actually, that photo I'm pretty sure was taken on the Ohio River, because right behind there on the road on Market Street is the river. That's the only way you could take that photo, as well as the one on Riverside Drive. I'm pretty sure was taken from the Ohio River because I'm standing on the edge of the road, which leads right to the river in the 2015 one. And we hope in the future that we can establish a collaboration with the patrons that might have materials or stories from the 1937 flood, that they'd be willing to donate to us where we can upload it to this digital archive. So thanks for watching my video on the JTPL online archive. Hope to see you soon. Hope to see you back at the archive.